Hi everyone! I wanted to start by saying thank you so much for all of the attention and the kindness that you showed to that disability representation video that I posted a couple weeks back. It was really, really nice, and I had some people, reach out to me through social media or privately to say some really lovely things and to kind of engage with me about that conversation. So I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate you kind of taking the time to watch the video, to leave a like on the video, kind of whatever you did. Thank you very much for that. Because it's that kind of thing, that engagement that kind of helps me to know, what you want to hear more of, and just encourages me and makes me feel like this is a good way to spend my time. You know what I mean? This is a good conversation for us to be starting. And so thank you for encouraging that. And in the interest of that, today we just have a short little 5-step video on some things to consider if you're planning to create a disabled character in any sort of content that you are creating. So my intention with the first couple of steps of this is to kind of give you some guidelines on how to approach the actual disability aspect of your character, whoever that character may be, and for whatever you may be writing them. Book, movie, whatever. And as always, keep in mind, like, obviously my perspective is one perspective, and I am not the be-all, end-all in terms of how to write a good disabled character, so, don't let this be your only source, but I, of course, obviously really appreciate it if you are using this as a source. So to me, the most important way for you to start this process is to make sure that you're doing research. So we'll use my example and we'll just say if you were creating a character who had cerebral palsy and you are not a person who has cerebral palsy, then you want to make sure that you understand what it is, that you understand how it impacts people or how it might impact people, and kind of get an idea of what it might be like to be a person who has cerebral palsy. So, is it going to take some effort? Yes. Should you have more than one source? 100% absolutely. Have more than one source. Please make sure that you really and genuinely have made an effort to understand what the disability is that you're trying to write about or that you're trying to incorporate into this character's life before you just start doing it. Okay, so then relatedly, sort of step 2 of that is, as you're writing your character or as you're getting started with all of this, to keep in mind that every disability is, in a way, a spectrum, that no two people with the same disability are going to have the same experience. So you want to avoid, creating a character who's a laundry list of symptoms or a laundry list of experiences or characteristics and nothing else. So yes, that's going to take a little bit of extra work from you, but you can mitigate some of the work that you personally yourself have to do by getting help from other people. You can talk to doctors, you can talk to people who have that disability. You can, I'm sure, find sensitivity readers or beta readers or a test audience online to kind of check out whether your portrayal of this character in this specific situation or who has this specific disability is appropriate, is respectful, is not, damaging or stereotypical in a negative way. I'm cheating a little, but these two do go together. If you do have test readers or someone who checks out your work and who tells you that, you should maybe reconsider something, or that something that you've done is, however unintentionally, a problem, then you need to actually listen to that person. I'm sure we've all seen the articles about certain shows that I will not name that did the research and were told to approach a certain topic in a certain way and then didn't approach it that way and caused a lot of problems. So you want to avoid that. You want to really, if you're asking for help, please take the help. And if someone is telling you to reconsider something, there's probably a valid reason for that, and maybe that's something to do a little bit of soul searching on. Okay, So, you've done your research, you've checked out everything that you need to check out, you've talked to people, you've figured out how you can handle this as sensitively as possible, and now it is time for you to write the thing. When you are creating your character, this is going to be very obvious, or I hope it's very obvious, but put as much effort into the actual character creation aspect with your disabled character that you would put for a non-disabled character. So make sure you give them likes, dislikes, skills, things that they're bad at, flaws, positive character traits. You know what I mean? Really kind of, if you're making well-rounded characters in other aspects of your script or your story or your, whatever creative endeavor you're undertaking, all of your characters need to undergo that same sort of creation process. Okay, last but not least, please make sure that you give your disabled character a goal, and please make sure that that goal is not to not have their disability anymore. I have seen stories like that, and it is not great. It becomes very, I hesitate to use this term, but I'm gonna, it becomes very ableist to kind of give a character an entire storyline where all they want is to get rid of the disability. Can we want to improve our quality of life with the disability? Yes. Can we want to learn how to do new things as we exist with our disability? Yes. Is it super awesome to be like, oh, here's a character who had a disability at the beginning of the book and who by the end of the book has miraculously become normal? No. That's a problem. Please don't do that. Please don't. So, again, you can have goals for your character that are in some way related to their disability. That's totally fine. But please don't make their entire storyline revolve around it. Allow them to exist and live their life without every thought they have and every conversation that they have being about their disability. So those are my 5 sort of steps that I thought of when I was planning this video. I am obviously and always delighted to hear your thoughts on, did I miss anything? Is there anything that you think is important to discuss about this, or something that you think should be handled a little bit differently than maybe I said? I would love to talk to you about it. I would love to hear your thoughts. At some point in the near-ish future, I would also like to talk about casting for disabled characters and casting disabled actors. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to subscribe and hang out so that you don't miss that video. And again, if you want to be involved in that conversation or this conversation or any conversation, you can feel free to leave a comment on the video, or I'll link my Facebook and the production company email in the video so that you can use those as well if you would like to communicate with me about any of this. And yeah, so I look forward to hearing from you. I hope that this was helpful or interesting or both, and I will see you again soon. Bye.